What do you see? A beautifully refined product, slimline, polished, almost demure. But don't be fooled, because lurking underneath that graceful facade is a tiger in waiting. And that's because this is no ordinary eMTB. No, this is a bike capable of tearing everything else apart. The verdict is quite simple. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Do you think I was overcooking it there? I mean, I don't think so. And let's face it, this is where they filmed Star Wars, so it's quite appropriate, right? The new Amflow PL, it might well be making motor product managers all over the world incredibly uncomfortable. But for you, the rider, this bike is capable of making you fearless. It will open up possibilities you've simply never dreamed of. The beating heart of this bike is very much the DJI Avinox drive unit. And boy, does it beat. It is definitely the Black Sabbath of eMTBs. It's a masterclass in eMTB systems and very much a revolutionary product. Okay, enough of the drama, but look guys, all is not what it seems with this bike. But I know what you're thinking, you want some facts. Is this bike the most powerful? Yes, quite possibly. Is it the fastest? Yes, it is. So Amflow have stated that they are redefining lightweight eMTBs, and you cannot argue. They have, after all, delivered one of the most powerful eMTBs on the market, which is available in a sub 20 kilo package. However, how do we want to judge, measure the eMTBs we ride? Is weight really a performance metric? Or is power, range, software? What's actually more important? Look, whatever, all I know is this bike is absolutely stunning. It's very much a quantum leap in technology, and I have to say it is a privilege to ride it. I mean, folks, look at such things as, look at the detail on this bike. Like this battery port here. I mean, it's so simple, it's so neat, and like that's it, that's the thing with this bike. Everything on this bike is super neat. But yeah, the details, it's all about the details. Look more carefully and you'll see an eMTB system comprising of a super small motor and a battery in the down tube. Look even closer, a 2-inch full colour touchscreen display, Bluetooth enabled wireless controllers. But getting closer and look again and you'll see the names DJI and Avinox. Now DJI is an industry leader in drones and camera stabilization technology. So of course, on that screen, a wealth of information including real-time riding data, estimated range, and the ability to adjust the setup with just a swipe. I think it's fair to say that this bike does feature technology which has never before been seen on an eMTB, but I don't want to downplay all other e-mountain bikes because I genuinely love riding all e-mountain bikes. It's just that when you come to some facts, the details such as the motor, the power on that motor it's literally on another level compared to other motors in the market. I want to demonstrate the fact that the battery range is comparable to 750s and 900 watt hour batteries. And the display, I mean the display and the data on there, I think as a whole it is very much like the iPhone of e-bikes. And I think if I was to describe it, I would say it's very much a full-bodied e-mountain bike, even though it doesn't look like it. Right, now Amflow call this bike groundbreaking. I would actually say it's ground covering. But let's have a look now at some of the facts when it comes to hill climbing. The hill climb, folks, conditions are prime, exactly the same as when I did the previous speed test on pretty much all the main e-mountain bike motors. I have actually brought a few of the top bikes with me to make sure the comparison is exactly the same. So previous fastest time, just over 49 seconds to Rocky Mountain. Let's get rolling. Okay, 3, 2, 1, boost. I'm literally accelerating up the hill. Oh my God, I'm leaning in the corner. The torque, I'm in third gear and it is still giving. Whoa. Root section coming up, I want to avoid the collisions with my front wheel. What's the saying? Houston, we have a problem. Previous fastest time on that climb was 49.7 on the Rocky Mountain, which in turn was 6 seconds quicker than any other bike, any other motor. Go and check out our video which we've done on this hill climb. So brought a few of the bikes here to make sure the comparison is equal. We got a problem here, a very good one. It actually means that your line choice can be different. You're powering through corners going uphill. 41 seconds. 41 seconds is 8 seconds quicker than the fastest ever motor, which in turn was 6 seconds quicker than any other motor. 41 seconds. This bike could go and win, with the right person on board, an e-enduro World Cup power stage right now. Right now. And that is a pretty big statement which I will stick to. Just want to point out that these times are legit. If you want to check out my Strava, my Garmin, whatever it is that's got my times on it, the times are logged on there to show the exact location and times I've just done. So, as you can see, the bike going uphill just opens up so many possibilities in e-mountain biking. I would actually go so far as to say it's verging on a new sport. What that sport is, I think we're just at the beginning of understanding when it comes to technical uphill. But going back to some of the fine detail, in terms of the modes on this bike, it's got walk mode and hill start. Now this is a really cool feature which enables you to get going again if you stall on a hill. Otherwise we've got eco, trail, auto, turbo and boost. Now it needs to be understood that trail on this bike is pretty much like turbo or boost on other bikes. So in actual fact, it's got 2 modes higher than any other e-mountain bike on the market. So you can probably ride this bike in trail and get a similar range to, say, maybe eco on other bikes. But I want to stick to the facts. I want to stick to the facts about this. Now, I've done a ride with this bike in turbo mode and I've done 1,600 meters and 35 kilometers. If you compare that to, say, a Bosch 750, the Bosch in turbo mode will do around about 30 kilometers and 1,400 meters of climbing. The nearest I've got to it is the Shimano 900 watt-hour battery, which has got me to about 50 meters higher than on this bike. And on the Kelly's bike with an 820 watt-hour battery, I did 40 kilometers and 1,700 meters of climbing. But the key thing to understand, like I said, is you can ride this bike in trail mode and it's pretty much like turbo or boost. But what exactly do you do on a bike like this when you have power, range, performance, just the right weight? It's simple. You just ride the wheels off it. The options are endless. But seriously though, this is very much a trail bike. It is built as such, hence the Max Terra tyres, the carbon wheels. It is a bike incredibly capable of hitting turns flat out, rock and root, and it's just a very lively bike, as my colleague, the Don, demonstrates. But how does it compare to other bikes, you might well ask? Well, on uphill, it's incomparable. On downhill, well, it's equal to many bikes of similar travel. Wow, look at that motor, it's nuts, right, how compact it is. In terms of the characteristics, the personality, it is smooth and it's consistent through a range of scenarios and conditions. But the detail on that boost mode, it actually gives you hit the boost mode and it gives you 30 seconds at 120 Newton meters and a peak power of 1,000 watts. I mean, it really does enable technical climbing on another level at pace. And you need to bear in mind 2 things, that sometimes technical riding does require momentum and also it requires skill too. So you need to tune into the way this bike operates. It's kind of a video in itself, basically. The bike also has auto mode, which adapts assistance in real time based on the conditions and riding position. Now, once enabled, auto mode empowers users to tackle a wide range of terrain and gradients without having to switch modes. The bike also has auto hold to prevent rollback on slopes and hill start assist for additional torque to get riders started on inclines. This is an incredibly cool feature. But how has this brand, which, let's face it, will be new to many people, accomplished all this tech? Well, let's just say DJI is an industry leader in drones and camera stabilization technology, and this DJI Avinox drive system is cutting edge too in both software and hardware. Inside is a planetary gear set, providing what Amflow say is industry-leading power to size ratio. Hard to dispute for sure. The drive unit is 2.52 kilos for reference. The durable high-strength polymer material inside the drive unit is said to effectively suppress noise during high-speed gearbox operation. I've just been sat here for the last 10 minutes looking at this bike. I mean, doesn't it look just so innocent, yet a bike with so much bite? What I've been pondering is, what do the other motor manufacturers do now? And also, where does that leave bikes of a similar weight, a similar sort of 19 to 20 kilo weight, which have got lower torque motors with lower capacity, kind of 400 watt hour batteries? It's a really big question. I've also been thinking about what if eMTB was a Formula One sport. I think if you're the owner of a race team and you didn't have one of these, you would be having kittens now for sure. But what's this bike like to ride? Look, it's a 150/160mm trail bike. It's got 29-inch wheels. You've got the option of having a 27.5 on the back of the flip chip. It's got a really good supportive shock tune on there. The tyres are Max Terra. I'd probably go for something with a bit more grip if I was doing more hill climbing, which I'm going to demonstrate out in Italy in the next few weeks. And the geometry is absolutely spot on. It's a fantastic all-round trail bike with monumental possibilities going uphill. Possibilities which we will be bringing you next week on the channel as we take the Amflow into higher altitude technical terrain to see the true capabilities of this new bike. Yeah, in short, a super agile bike, up, down and along. And remember folks, there's the display or the Avinox app. Now riders can review such data like speeds, range, cadence, power, torque, gradient, altitude, calories burned, ride times, heart rate and much, much more. This data can also be synced with third-party apps such as Strava. In terms of the battery can be charged from 0 to 75% in just 1.5 hours. And customizable parameters. Riding modes can be quickly customized to adjust power, torque, cadence, according to your riding habits. The bike also has an anti-theft mode. A password-protected anti-theft mode will sound an alarm and the app will send a notification and if unauthorized movement of the eMTB is detected. And also remote locating. The bike's real-time location can easily be checked. I've been questioning myself whether I've been overcooking some of the statements in this video, and I have not, because we've got facts to prove how this bike performs. The verdict, if you want lighter weight, long range, more power and an agile trail bike, have a look at this tiger.